I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. My name is Jack Roberts. I'll be your moderator for this third segment of face-to-face Q&A session / debate / forum, whatever you want to call it. What we intend to do here is try to familiarize the voters of Clay County with the candidates that they're going to be voting for, and give you an opportunity to address the voters and explain to them what you want to do for them as their county judge executive. Our candidates for this office disorganized here. We have Steve Mobley, Mark Jackson, and Judge Executive current incumbent Joe Asher. I'd like to lay down a few ground rules for you. We will not allow any applause or any comments during the session while the candidates are debating. Each candidate will be asked 3 questions, and at the end of that 3-question session, we'll give each candidate 2 minutes to address the voters. Give them a reason why that you feel like they should vote for you. Each question you will be allowed 2 minutes to answer. We'll use a timer in this. Once the question has been answered, it will be open for debate. Once the debate is ended, we'll go to the next session. Now, starting this thing off, we'll draw numbers for the positions, because we realize the first person to answer the question will be somewhat disadvantaged because the others will have more time to prepare their answers. Each question we'll draw for a number and we'll progress as we go around the table. Do we have any questions? If no questions, I'd like for you to reach in and draw a number out. Just a second. All right. Mr. Markley, what is your number? 3. Number 3. Mr. Jackson? 2. 2. Good. All right. Judge Asher, look like you're going to be first to answer the question. The topic concerning tourism seems to be the #1 subject most voters that we polled were most concerned with when we asked about this office. So, Mr. Asher, my question to you is, what are your thoughts and or plans concerning tourism in Clay County? You will be given 2 minutes.
Well, I would agree with you. Tourism is a big thing, and that's why our office at this time is working with the city, with the tourism committee. We have in plan we are putting in different things in place for tourism. One thing is, I know the county, and I can say this now, that we have helped with grants, working through the city, with the Stay in Clay group, with the, with the group over here at the log cabins with their group, which Stay in Clay. We're helping them build shelter, not shelter, but a stage over there at this time. Because we know that's how important it is. And that's where we get a lot of money in. And I will say this, we are my wife is putting in a business. She is putting in 1 room, is for visitor center or tourism center. That's not costing the county or the city anything that's in this business. So we know it's a big project. and we're working with everybody that we can to fulfill that project.
All right, does anybody have any rebuttal or any comment on Mr. Asher's answer? If not, we'll move on to the second question. Mr. Jackson, do I need to repeat the question for you?
I just want to know about how we need to get tourism in here.
Right.
Well, the way I look at it is we've got all kinds of opportunities. We're going to use the land in Clay County to build tourism. We got a great elk population. Elk Mountain, there's no factories there yet. We need to make that into one of the biggest tourist attractions around. You've got elk, you put a water park up there, you put campgrounds, you know. I talked to Leslie County, Jimmy Sizemore, Judge Executive, and he said we could put a trail together that would go all the way into Hardin County. That's unbelievable. Then you could use the land around here. We got to get out in the county. These sight lines and stuff like that is great, but they're just attractions that people's going to come and look at while they're here. You got to give them something to do while they're here, or they won't be coming to tourists. You know what I mean? Got to prepare the county and get people in the county to work with you to do this stuff. And we all have to realize it's one county, work together. And I think that would boost tourism. And he's got a good idea about the office down there, but if you don't got nowhere to send people for the tourism, you ain't gonna have a tourism.
Okay, does anybody have any comments on Mr. Jackson's answer?
I'd just like to say one thing with it. He mentioned the Elk Mountain. That's one thing the county does not own. So that is owned by the Elk Mountain Industrial Authority. So the county does have 15 acres. It's set aside up there for park and recreations, and the plans are in to build I don't want to say, a camp RV park up there on that 15 acres, but that's all that the county owns.
Any further comments? Mr. Mobley, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
Tourism is definitely a piece of the puzzle here in Clay County. We've got some economic difficulties that we've got to address head on, and I do think tourism can play a part in that. I don't think it's our entire answer. We are known, Clay County is officially now the land of swinging bridges. We have, I think, more swinging bridges in our county than any other in the state of Kentucky. We're in the Appalachian Mountains, the same place that East Tennessee has made its living on for the last, how many years. There's no reason we can't do some of those same things here in East Kentucky. Beautiful country, like they're talking about. I grew up fishing the South Fork of the Kentucky River, fishing Redbird River. Beautiful places. One thing that I do think that we need to do, that we need to address if we're going to move our tourism industry to the forefront, is we've got to get some infrastructure in place. We've got to have some motels, and we've got to have some places for these people to eat. If they get off the interstate over in London and they stop at the Hampton Inn and they go eat supper at Shiloh's and they drive to Manchester and spend the day enjoying our senior community, and then they drive back to London and spend the night at the Hampton Inn, we have not really generated any dollars in our local economy. I think that's one of the things that we really need to look at. But I do believe that tourism can be a key piece of our economic development going forward.
Good, good. Any comments from either candidates?
Well, I got a comment, but it was about what Mr. Asher said about my question about Elk Mountain. That's what I mean. We all have to work together. We have to go get that board to let us work together. It's absolutely useless sitting up there. So if you got to communicate, talk to each other, and you get working together, you can develop what I was talking about.
Very good. Number two, where are we at?
I believe you'll be first, and then we're going in order. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Jackson, number two. Another hot subject voiced by the voters was that of the lack of jobs in Clay County and what will be done to change that. So, Mr. Jackson, my question to you is, if you are elected to the county judge executive's office, what are your plans, if any, to generate new jobs and improve the standard of living for the voters and citizens of Clay County?
Well, I think that you just have to get out and you have to go find jobs. You have to go, you can't be too proud of beg, what I say. You got to go out, go to these factories. You don't have to have 100 jobs. We'll take 20 jobs to start out. Just anything, you got to have tax breaks. You got to give them a reason to bring jobs in here. We got a beautiful spot across from the Huddle House that we owned at one time and the family took it back. Access to the parkway and everything. That is a beautiful place for factories and stuff. So I think that if you don't get out and try to find jobs, that you'll never bring jobs here. And then, like I was saying about the kids, if you create stuff for the kids to do around here, that's going to bring jobs in here. You give tax breaks to the companies around here, that they might hire more people. But we all have to work together in this to do this kind of stuff, to bring jobs in here. It's hard to bring jobs in here, just like you said about the infrastructure, where we have to have water. We don't have water, you know, enough to supply factories like that and stuff. So it's hard to bring jobs to a place that ain't nobody ever tried to bring them to. You have to get out and get them.
Any comment at this point? All right. Mr. Mobley.
I do have a plan for trying to recruit some business and jobs into Clay County. I know it's a difficult situation. We have 2 industrial boards. We've got a Clay County Industrial Board and an Elk Mountain. I think we need to make sure that they have all the resources that they need, that they're in place, that they're getting our support and their help so that they can actively do their job and get out and help us recruit some business. The other thing I would do, if immediately right off the bat, one of the first things I would do is look around at some of the successful businesses that we do have in Clay County and see if we can kind of piggyback on those and bring in some jobs. And we've got a prison down the road here that employs a lot of people. Well, maybe there's a satellite business that could provide some services or resources for that prison that could relocate here. And we've got a hospital. Maybe there's some kind of business, a nursing staffing agency or something that we could move over here into our county that could serve that hospital. Phillips Diversified over on Muddy Gap. They employ 450 people in the 3-county area. And we can go talk to Clyde Phillips and say, look, is there a company, an offshoot of you guys that we can bring in here to immediately try to get some jobs and boost our economy a little bit? And I think long term, it's kind of what Mark said too, we've got to extend our city water, our sewer services, we've got to work on our highways and get this in a situation where we can recruit some businesses. Also one that I think it's overlooked that we talked about a little bit earlier tonight is agriculture. You know, at one time we raised about 3 million pounds of burley tobacco in Clay County. I think we can go back to raising some tobacco. I think we desperately need a farmer's market here in this county. Not only does the farmer's market provide these families with healthy, nutritious food, they can use food stamps to shop at the farmer's market, but it also provides the farmers a job, and they're hiring other people to work for them, and that money is recirculated in our economy. I think those are some things we can do. Also, beef cattle is a very viable industry here in Clay County. I participate in that myself. And I will agree with what Mark said. We may not get the factory that's going to bring 500 jobs in here, but if we can get 10 businesses with 10 jobs apiece and then get 20 with 20 jobs apiece, that's how we start and progress our economy forward.
Very good. Any comments? No comments, Mr. Asher?
Well, I agree with the partners here on this. We need the jobs. We do have a few other jobs to come here. We do have a job of factory up on that mountain. It's hired about 6 people lately. Planning on to put about 25 to work. And this is a private individual. And I would like to say on the other thing, on the farmers market, we should have one coming this summer through the UK Extension Office. They bought property up there, and they have been working with Jeff. Cass and myself have been working with that one. Should help, and just like anything else, trying to get the people here. The big thing up on the mountain up there is water. And right now we're putting almost $1 million worth of water in this summer, water lines this summer. And we are asking for another $1 million. I'm working with UT, Knoxville, Tennessee, with people at the Redbird Mission. And somebody may say, why are you going to UT? Right, quickly, it's free. UK charges. So we are working with them, trying to get water lines in to people, to houses, and to the Elk Mountain up there industrial, so they have water. Right now we don't have it. And we have in works. We've got in plans of trying to get a lake in here, but it probably won't be here in my lifetime, but it's started.
Any comments from the other candidates? No other comments? Mr. Mobley, number 3. If you are elected judge executive, what are your plans to maintain and improve the roads and highways of Clay County?
Well, I think as Clay County Judge Executive, I would hope that you've got many more responsibilities than just working on roads and highways of Clay County. There's definitely a key to what we're going to do. We've got 6 magistrates, we've got 6 magisterial districts, and hopefully the voters are going to elect folks that can handle their district. we make wise choices and we put people in those places. And as county judge executive, I provide them with the resources that they need. I think we look at a more direct approach rather than a shotgun approach. I think we identify our problem areas and maybe spend a little more of our money there and try to fix those with a permanent fix rather than taking the shotgun approach and spending a little money everywhere and having to redo it over and over and over. So we fix these right the first time, set a priority list, have our magistrates help us, decide to prioritize our roads and which ones need help the most, and systematically repair those and maintain those. So in a few years, everybody gets fixed and we got nice roads. And we need roads. We need a safe place for our kids to ride the school bus back and forth to school every day, and their families need a way to get back and forth to work. It's vitally important that we have safe highways.
Any comments? Mr. Asher, do I need to repeat the question?
No, I believe about the roads.
Yes, sir.
As we are working on the roads, I agree with the people that sit here. We do need roads, and we are, right now, we are working on the roads. And I would say one thing with the magistrates, I do ask each one of those to turn a list of roads in, which ones they want done first. Which one should be the worst road, should be the one we do first. So that's how we work our roads. But I will agree with them. We are doing everything that we can with what money we have to fix roads. And a lot of times we get money from the cold severance, and we know at this time it's not there anymore. It's went from about $200,000 every 3 months down to about 50. So that's about a mile of road right there. So the roads we are working on each and every day. And we are out there. We do work with Mr. Robert Stivers, Tim Couch, Governor. We've been working with Hal Rogers, even Mitch McConnell. And we talk with all of them trying to ask, where can we find money for roads? And again, and we do this. We work with them. And I guess that's about where we at with that. But I think they're a little better shape than they was a few years ago.
Any comments on Mr. Asher's statement? Mr. Jackson, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, sir. Well, the way I look at it, it's 2014. All roads in Clay County should already be blacktop. Or if they're not blacktop, they should already be in the stages where they want to be blacktop. I mean, that's how we get around in Clay County. You got to go back in these hollers, and you got to see what the problems are. You got to get out and go drive on them roads. You ain't driving on the same roads that these other people are. That's why you don't know what's going on with the roads. You get out in your county, you have meetings and talk to the people about the roads. Roads is something that it should be maintained just like graveyards and everything else in this county. It should be maintained all the time, no matter what. I mean, if there's a pothole, it should be fixed. Just like Mr. Romley said. It's better to take the fix that makes it permanent than to go fix it and then come back 6 months later, have to fix it again, and come back 6 months later. It might cost a little more at the beginning, but it'll save it in the long run. And I think every road, no matter where it's at, should be maintained.
Very good. Any comments on Mr. Jackson's question? Answer.
I'd like to back up to Mr. Jackson's previous question, if that's legal on the roads, I guess. Mark was talking about doing something for the young people in Clay County. And I've spent most of my life working with youth, either as a 4-H agent or a high school ag teacher or the Department of Ag that shows and fairs. And our young people are vitally important. They're the key to our future. Our most valuable asset is our young people. But I think one of the best things that we can do for our kids in Clay County is to provide some jobs, some economic development. And you take a 17-year-old boy at Clay County High School, you give him a minimum wage job, making $10 or a minimum wage job working 10 hours a week. That's $50 a week he puts in his pocket. Well, he can go get his girlfriend and put gas in the pickup truck, and they can go to McDonald's and run a movie for $1, and go to Dairy Queen and get a Blizzard, and they've done something for the weekend, and they've had a good time. And that money's recirculated in our economy, and that drives our economy forward. I think the best thing we can do for our kids is to provide some jobs.
Very good. At this time, I'd like to make it known that these questions that have been asked here, none of the candidates in our panel had previous knowledge or was aware of what the questions were going to be. And I commend them on their answers. I think they did an outstanding job. And at this time, I'd like to go forward. And Mr. Asher, you have 2 minutes to address the voters and convince them why they should elect you to the office of Judge Executive again.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start out as me being as the Judge Executive's time for the last 3.5 years to just look over what I have got accomplished, things that have changed, where it be with the roads, a few jobs, with the water line system, and just look around us and see. Their unemployment, if they would go back and check just a little, it's up just very few points from that. But I do believe they can go back and look over our records and to see what we've done, see what we stand for, see what we try to answer every person phone call. We try to get to if we have a problem, we work with that. We work with our school board, as Mark did say there, with these roads back, if you use the word back in the holler, we've been back there with them. We know where they're at. It's a 24-hour-a-day job, and we've been there. And I just, one thing, and I'm proud of our people that's working for us, from our magistrates down to every workforce we got, not just road crew. We have ambulance service, we have our jail, and they do a pretty good job. Right now, everything's still running in the black, so that's a big help to us, and that means a whole lot to us. And I think they're doing an honest and fair job for everybody.
Good. Mr. Jackson, do I need to repeat the question?
No. Well, the reason that I'm running for this office is because we give up. The people of Clay County has basically give up on the county for some reason, and I don't know why. But our kids is the future of this county, and we're having drug overdoses. We're having everything in the world. And I'm not saying nothing about Mr. Asher, but there's nothing getting done here in Clay County. There's absolutely nothing for these kids to do. There's nothing for adults to do. If it snows a little bit, you're out of school for a month. I mean, we got to take care of the people in this county. That's who. It's not a power position. It is a job that the people of this county is hiring you to take care of them and the kids and make this county the best place that it's supposed to be to raise your kids. That's why I'm the man for the job. I respect everybody. I talk to everybody. I don't meet a stranger. You cannot just do stuff in Clay. It's like leap year. You get stuff done in Clay County every 4 years. That's not right. People need stuff all the time. They don't need it just when it's election time. That's why I'm the person that will be out. I've talked to them before. I'm not going to talk to them. I'm going to talk to them after the election. I talked to them before the election. That's what we got to base on. You got to understand what the people need. You got to talk to the people, and you got to let the people express what they need, their concerns, and then you work together as a whole community to solve that problem. We don't have that in our county. That's the good old country living has gone away from Clay County, where everybody helps everybody. And that's the reason that I'm doing this, and to get these kids a future in this county. And everybody talks about what they're going to do and what they're not. There's nothing they've done. We have guys that's had years experience that's running with us. Well, if I've had years experience, I would have had something done. Or I wouldn't be running again. That's just the way my opinion. We've got to take care of the people in this county to make this county better.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Mobley?
Well, I feel like I'm the most qualified candidate. I'm college educated, got almost 9 years experience working in state government, recruiting business and industry in the field of agriculture to the state of Kentucky. I feel like I can do the same thing here in Clay County. I do have a plan. You've heard just a little bit of it about what I would do to bring in some business and industry and increase the jobs here in Clay County. I know that we've all got to work together. I can see us with a fiscal court and our city council members and our school board all working together. We've got to put forth a united front. If we're going to go to Frankfurt or we're going to go to Washington, D.C. and ask for money, we better go together. We better go as a united front. I've got extensive grant writing experience. I've worked as far as writing legislation to get grants funded in Frankfurt. I've written grants myself. I've received grants. I'm very familiar with that process. I think that would be an asset. That's one of the things that we're going to have to look at. That's one of the sources of money that is available in Clay County that we're going to have to actively seek. We're going to have to get out and do that. But I think if we all work together, that includes our tourism boards, our volunteers, and the agencies that I previously mentioned, that we can indeed make Clay County a better place to live and to work and to visit.
Thank you. Any further comments? If not, I'd like to say that, in my opinion, this has been an excellent panel of candidates. I think they've all gave excellent decisions and answers, and I feel the voters have got their work cut out for them to choose the right man for the job. I'd like to give them a hand.
Can I say one more thing?
All right.
All I want to say, that I'm not saying nothing bad about nobody, but if you care about your county enough that you want to represent your county, you'd be here at this meeting right now.
I feel the same way, Mr. Jackson.
I mean, that's just my opinion, and I mean, I don't see people that don't want to come and express what they're going to do for the county, must not have no plans to do nothing for the county.
I think that's a very good point. And again, I'd like to thank all the spectators
Appreciate you having us.
for coming
I'd
by.
like to say that this before we
And-
go back tonight.
This will be the last of the series before